Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing a bonus reading for you guys. You had the highest viewership last week, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. I am going to start off by letting you know that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Cancer sign out there, so guys, just take what resonates for you. Leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse, so if it is resonating, get in where you fit in. But as always, Cancer, don't force yourself into a reading that is not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Cancer? Cancer. All right, Cancer, you are starting out with the King of Wands in the reverse. You have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Fool in reverse. So there's something new here, some sort of new beginning that's trying to come in for you. But I feel like you're kind of afraid to take that risk. You're afraid to take that leap of faith into whatever this is. And so you're kind of seated in this non-action. Now, for some of you, you might be recognizing that there's stability in this situation, but you don't feel passionate about it. And so that's why you're kind of holding back from this. But there is definitely something that is trying to come in for you that could be very stable. It's a new beginning. I also see that for a lot of you, your money is going to be looking pretty good this week. So let me see who's in your energy. Yeah, you could be receiving a large sum of money or an increase of some sort, or your money could just be very stable this week. All right, so the energy that's coming towards you, you have the Two of Wands reversed. We have the Seven of Wands reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So the person who's in your energy is experiencing some sort of a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle. I do feel like they are seated in some very stuck energy. They're feeling a little bit powerless right now. They definitely are. Planning is not a strong suit for them. And that's one of the reasons why things are not moving in a more positive direction. They're kind of leaning into powerlessness. This could be somebody who chose to go in another direction from this connection at some point, but they're definitely in some stuck energy. So let me see the energy between Cancer and this person. Queen of Wands in the reverse. So nobody's taking any action. Yeah, you are afraid to take a risk with this person, and I can see why, because you know they're going through some sort of karmic cycle here or lesson, and you know they're in stuck energy. They're just in stuck energy and feeling powerless. So you might even be attracted to this person on some level, but at the same time you're like, yeah, I'm not jumping into that. This could be a karmic connection as well. For some of you, this may be somebody from your past who was a karmic connection. It was a very passionate, very fiery romance that kind of fizzled out, and you may have something new coming in. Let me see what is affecting this connection. Right now, neither of you are taking any action towards this connection. There's a lot of inactivity that's here between the two of you. What's affecting the connection between Cancer and this person? Temperance in the reverse. There's something that needs to be healed. There's something that needs to be healed because it was a very unbalanced connection. See, and you have a lot of positivity going on in your life, whereas this person, Cancer, is really experiencing a sense of powerlessness. I feel like they almost feel like the world is against them. Let me see. So there's healing that needs to take place individually and also with regard to what happened in this connection. Now, in your outcome, we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Death card. Wow. So you might be speaking a truth to this person. You might be just telling this person, you know, a little bit about themselves by the end of the week. Because I see you're the one who's speaking this truth. The person that's in your energy, I do feel like, you know, they're going to have to accept an ending. Because I feel like you're the one that's saying, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not jumping into this. there's no new beginning here for me because I am not taking a risk with you. I don't feel like this is something that is going to be productive. And some of you could have something new started as well. Regardless, by the end of the week, I see you kind of telling this person a little bit about themselves, and it's what is going to bring a final closure to this. Now, the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles. This is underlying energy. You could work with this person. There is a sense of somebody feeling exposed, and I don't feel like it's you. I feel like this person in your energy, for some reason, they feel very exposed in your eyes. So I don't know if they've done something here in the past that caused an issue, but it's almost like they feel that you can see right through them. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the King of Wands in reverse? Justice in reverse and the Strength card in reverse. Wow, okay. So there's definitely fear of any type of action or any type of new beginning with this person. You fear taking any kind of a risk here. And I do feel like it's because there was some sort of injustice that was done towards you. This is why you are inactive. This is what has caused you to kind of lose your passion for this person. And in fact, a lot of you are looking at this person and thinking, you know what, you're a karmic. You were a lesson for me. I do feel like there's still need for you to work on yourself, though, because there's still a sense of imbalance. Some of you could actually be going through some sort of legal proceeding with this person, and you fear that things are not going to go the way you want them to or the way you hope that they would. And I'm hearing something about withholding. This person could be withholding something from you, even if it's justice. I don't know where that came from, but there's something about somebody's withholding something from you. So take it as it resonates. But I definitely see that you feel that this is an unbalanced situation. It actually really is. And there's a sense here of feeling that you have been taken advantage of in some manner in this connection. So I feel like this is what is leading you to have a lack of action. And look at that. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords again. So I feel like there's some things you want to tell this person about themselves. Let's see why this Ace of Pentacles is here. All right, we have the Ten of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. So I can see that there was a painful ending. Some of you may have reconciled with somebody else from your past who may have reappeared in your energy, or you may have reappeared in theirs. I do feel like you've had a difficult time walking away from this person. And honestly, if this is a karmic connection, that can be very difficult to walk away from. So I can understand why you would. I do still feel that there are some kind of emotional attachments here of some sort. But a lot of you are just working on your money, or you may have started something new after this ending. There's definitely a sense that this person in your energy betrayed you. Why is the Fool in reverse for Cancer? Nine of Cups reversed. And the Page of Cups. Yeah, there's somebody new. There's somebody new here in your energy. So I feel like a lot of you may be embarking on some sort of new venture, new connection. I feel like you don't want this person in your life anymore. And I feel like when you do talk to them, this truth is that you're going to say, look, I don't want this anymore. I don't want what we had. I'm really surprised I haven't seen the Devil pop out here. But I feel like you're going to tell this person you have someone new that you're interested in. So let me look at their energy, because I feel like you're kind of closing out cycles with this person. You no longer want this connection, but they're still showing up in your energy. So let's see. Let's see why. Why is the Two of Wands in reverse? All right, we have the Fool in reverse. Now that's in your energy. We have the Nine of Coins, and we have the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So this person is definitely highly focused on you, but I do feel like they may have chosen a different route sometime in the past. Or this person could have been trying to bring you in as a third party as well. If that is the case, I do feel, because this person is showing up with an independent energy. They're showing up as being independent, pretty well off financially. And they may have, either there was some kind of a legal thing that the two of you were going through, such as a divorce or a separation, or they may have been trying to bring you in as a third party, and it's really not clear right now. I do feel like this person still has passionate feelings towards you. They're holding on to your energy, but they're not showing that because you're not showing it. So in other words, this person is basically saying, you know what, you're not going to take a risk with me? Well, I'm just going to hide my emotions. I'm going to hide my feelings. I'm not going to show them. They are, however, showing up as being single here. So let me see. Why is the Seven of Wands in reverse? Six of Wands and the Nine of Swords. They're trying to figure out how to make this connection successful. And they feel powerless because you're not, you know, playing into it. See, you felt betrayed by this person for something. There's some sort of betrayal that's here. So this person is literally losing sleep at night, trying to figure out, how can I make this successful? How can I overcome any conflicts? How can I work this out with Cancer and have a good relationship? But the problem is that they're not really looking at the imbalance that has been in the connection. So it's like they want to go back to maybe what was between the two of you, which does look like it was very passionate. Because this person still feels like you are their person, that the two of you are just not getting along right now, but it can be worked out. And they're trying to figure out how to work it out. I don't see that in your energy. I see in your energy, you still have some sort of emotional attachment to this person, but ultimately, this is not the person that you want to be with, and there is someone new in your energy. So let's see why this Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. All right, Ten of Wands and the Emperor in reverse. Now, you could be dealing with an Aries, strong Aries energy, Leo, Sagittarius. I see Pisces energy is here as well. This person is having a hard time because by the end of the week, you're going to be telling this person, no, I've got someone new. I don't want this connection. They're going to have a very difficult time with this ending. This to them feels like a connection that the two of you should be together. They made some mistakes, but it can be worked out. But see, Cancer, you're like, no, I don't want to work this out. I don't want to take a risk with you. And they're realizing this. See, I think they felt like they could sway you. They could bring you back in. And now they're feeling extremely burdened. They're feeling, you know, like, oh my God, Cancer's really ending this with me. So they feel out of control. There is an indication that the connection between the two of you could have been a third-party situation for some of you. This person is stuck on you, though, and they're having a very difficult time accepting this ending. Let me see why the Queen of Wands is in reverse. I feel like this person can be a lot of fun when things are going well, but when things don't go well, they can be really very irritable and very mean. Seven of Wands and the Sun in reverse. Yeah, this person's unhappy. They're very unhappy because they know that you're afraid to take a risk with them. But I do feel like it's because you felt betrayed by this person in the past. And you're choosing to, well, they're checking to see if you're single. I think you were. But at some point, either somebody has come into your energy or they're going to. Now, they're unhappy about everything. They don't know if they can bring you back in. I feel like they're up and down with their emotions. And I feel like you're just going to stand your ground. I feel like you're standing your ground. You're saying to this person, no, I'm not taking any action. You didn't treat me right. This is not an equal and balanced connection, and that's what I'm looking for. So I don't care who says what. I'm not going to change my mind. Some of you have met a soulmate as well. So that you're going to stand your ground with regard to that. Let's see why Temperance is in reverse. See, I feel like at some point, Cancer, you thought that this person was a soulmate. They were your person, and now you're feeling like maybe they're a karmic. King of Cups, you could be dealing with Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and Judgment in reverse. All right, so I do feel like you still have love for this person. I do. I feel like you have love, you have feelings and emotions. But it could also be that you have possibly a water sign that has returned to your life from elsewhere. I just feel like you feel this person has betrayed you, and it's not a balanced connection. So you're like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to stand my ground. And I'm seeing a lot of that in the collective lately. A lot of people who basically have not been treated right by their person of interest, they're basically like standing their ground and saying, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm seeing it a lot. In their energy, what I'm seeing is that they know that this relationship was affected by poor judgment. They feel like you're never going to come back to them, but they really want you to. So they're trying to figure out, how can they get you to lower your guard? How can they make this a successful connection? See, I think they feel like they've really screwed up, but they don't want to come out with that conversation. They don't want to have that conversation. So they're just trying to figure out how can they repair it without having that conversation. And they see that you're not really going for it. And a lot of them are seeing that you might be with someone else. And if they're not, you're going to tell them. All right, let me see the outcome at the end of the week. Oh, shoot. Cancer, you're ignoring this person. All right. Yeah, a lot of you work with this person. We have the Eight of Pentacles here again. So, Four of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles reverse. So I do feel like you have other love. I think that you may have met somebody, or you want to meet somebody, or you're going to. There's something about someone new in your energy. Be careful, because that person could also be somebody you work with, or this person could be someone you work with. There's a work connection for somebody out there. I do feel like you're going to be ignoring this person. I feel like they're going to kind of reciprocate that. They're going to mirror your behavior. So if you're avoiding them, if you're ignoring them, they're going to ignore you as well. But for them, it's for a different reason. See, for you, I feel like you're focusing on a new relationship. You're focusing on your work. And you just don't want to take a risk with this person. Whether you have feelings for them or not, you're just not going to take that risk. And so I feel like you've looked at all the details of this connection, and you found this connection was not what you wanted. You may have even felt deceived somewhat. It's like you had these rose-tinted glasses on, and you thought this was your person, and now you're realizing, well, maybe this person was more of a karmic. So I feel like you are ignoring this person because of the past. You've examined it. A lot of you, like I said, either have new love coming in, or that new love has already come in. In their energy, they're ignoring you as well because they're mirroring you, but it's because on their side, excuse me, on their side, they're having a hard time with the fact that this connection is actually over. Because see, a lot of their energy here has been going towards, how can I get Cancer to lower their guard? How can I get Cancer to accept this connection back? I'm unhappy without my Cancer sign. This is my person. So, they're really holding on to you. They're really focused on you. So you saying to them, because you're speaking a truth here. You saying, no, this is not what I want. I'm done with this. It's going to be a real problem for this person. And it can really send them over the edge, because I do feel like this is somebody that when things are good, they are a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to be around. Very passionate person. People love to be around. But when things go badly, they're the Emperor in the reverse. And the Emperor in the reverse is a nasty character. So I do feel this person could be a bit narcissistic. They could be unfaithful. There's a sense here of spiraling out of control. And they're going to be stuck in that energy for quite some time. So there's self-sabotaging energy that's here, and it's because they're going to be acting out because you're saying, no way, I don't want this. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. This is underlying energy, and it's indicating to me that you're going to have some things to say to this person. It's going to leave them feeling extremely exposed. But I also feel like you could be dealing with somebody that has been a bit of a player in the past. At worst and at best, it was an on-again, off-again connection. So, and I feel like you got some things to say. All right, so I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. You have number 49. It's called Oath. So give me a second and I will read that. All right, so it's a symbol for all promises, and it's a reminder to keep the promises you've made. An oath is never made lightly nor in jest. Promises are meant to be honored. When you choose this symbol, perhaps it's time you look at how you've made your promises. Have you crossed your fingers behind your back, relinquishing the magic that binds you to your oath? Has anyone broken his or her promise to you? Let the person go. Don't hold on if someone refuses to be honorable. You don't want this person in your life. For now, the most important promise you can make is to yourself. Promise to be kind, loving, honorable, and good. Do no harm. And remember to keep that promise. All right. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Again, thank you so much for, watching the video and listening to the reading. I hope that this has given you some clarity into this situation. If you have resonated, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And until I see you in your next reading, Cancer, know that you are loved, and namaste.